Alright, I got a great standard match against AeroDX from YouTube, and he's just now coming back to posting battles on his channel. I actually didn't even realize that. I just kind of saw his thread on Marriland and was like, oh, okay, I'll just battle this guy. And then it was like, whoa, he's actually somebody kind of big on YouTube. So that was an interesting surprise. This is a team that I haven't shown on my channel before. I've actually used it for a while. I was kind of intending to debut it for something else, but it might as well go here. I was thinking for a while in this first turn, because obviously Aerodactyl taunts and uses Stealth Rock. I was really afraid that this guy was probably going to be good enough. There's always a possibility that he's just going to expect the taunt, so he's just going to Leaf Storm, but I did it anyway. I didn't want to take the risk of Toxic Spikes or Sleep Powder, and right off the bat I knew that was really going to come back to bite me. So then I'm getting Stealth Rocks up. I'm not afraid of dying, because unlike a lot of people who just kind of they're like, oh, everyone does it, and Smogon says so I need Stealth Rocks. No, this team is actually really, really designed to work with Stealth Rocks to force switches, and it's really more offensive. And so those rocks are really important for killing things like Gyarados and Salamence, but not so much Salamence. They're more helpful for Gyarados. And so that's why I was just assuming that Starmie was Rabbit Spin. I was taking absolutely no chances, and that's why I used Dust Noir. Anyway, I thought he was going to go back into Roserade right after I blocked his spin, so I went back to Aerodactyl. Instead, he goes to Registeel. This time, I'm not going to taunt it, and this time he actually doesn't attack, so whatever. But I needed that Earthquake on him because you need damage on Registeel. Registeel is a lot like Swampert. It's an unbelievable wall, but it's got no form of recovery, so you've got to just attack it until, it's the same for everything, but Registeel is you just have to keep hitting it, I don't know, until it dies. There's really no way you can work around it unless you've got a Specs Heatran or something like that. And I was really, really thinking he was going to have Earthquake instead of Ice Punch, so I leave this Flygon in there, and this is actually a Screech Flygon, so I don't know what else to say. I considered Dragon Clawing, but I didn't think it would kill Registeel at that health, because Flygon's actually really weak. That's why I decided to run the Screech set, because it forces switches into stuff like this. See, this is where Stealth Rocks are important. And I was hoping I'd win the Speed tie here. I'm assuming that we're both plus speed, and I swear I never ever win the Speed tie with this Flygon. He's jolly and he's max speed, but I've never once won the Speed tie. I've lost to Jirachi and I've lost to Mence, and whatever. So I sent in one of my fastest guys, which is this Weavile, and I was hoping that he wouldn't just switch Mence out, but regardless if he wants to bring it in later, that's fine. I'm going to go for my more powerful stab attack, because I've got Ice Shard and Ice Punch, and that's able to take down Registeel, but now he sees that I've got that Life Orb, so that's kind of a giveaway that I didn't really want to have, but whatever, there's not much I can do about it. Now, speaking of Swampert and Registeel, he's got them both, as it turns out. My plan was to bring Dust Noir in, expecting a Stealth Rocker. I didn't really know what to expect. He's showing me Roserade, Registeel, and Swampert, and I'm like, which one of these guys is going to be throwing entry hazards at me and which one isn't? But turns out this isn't the standard thing that I can just burn and stall to death. It's a Sub Puncher, and well, thankfully I'm immune to his Focus Punch, so that's not a problem. But unfortunately, because of his HP investment, I can't break his substitutes with just one Earthquake. I'm going to have to do it. So once I saw that, I knew that I was going to have to sacrifice Dust Noir, because the only real thing that I can do to hurt the Swampert is my Starmie's Grass Knot. That's why I gave Starmie Grass Knot, because the rest of my team has so much trouble with Swampert. And now that I see that his subs are going to be able to take my Earthquake, my plan is to get him low enough, because Shadow Sneak is generally a rarity now on standard wall or tank Dust Noir. So I'm going to get him down low enough to where he's confident that he's going to be able to stay in with his sub up and hit him with one Earthquake and then Shadow Sneak right before I die, so that he'll just be left there standing with my Dust Noir knocked out and with him in pretty good health, but without his substitute, so I can send Starmie in. And then I'm just going to have to pray that he doesn't see the Grass Knot coming. And so we'll see how this plays out. That flinch he got in that last turn, that really didn't make a difference. It was bound to happen anyway. It's a 20% chance. I was actually thankful that I only got one of them. And I know I'm going to die from another waterfall. At least I'm hoping I am. That's part of the plan. And yeah, even with a couple turns of leftovers recovery. So I knew he was going to go for the substitute again, because he wants me to bring something in while he's still got a substitute up, so he can scout me out and just really get a free shot off from Swampert. And so I decided to Earthquake there and not Shadow Sneak yet. I don't want him to know that I have it yet. And here's where it happens. I get rid of that substitute, and like I just said before, I'm going to get that Starmie in there. And I decided to swap out Trick for Grassnod and this Starmie shortly before this battle, actually. And this is where I was hoping it would pay off. I really, really wanted this Swampert out there, because look at his team. He's got Roserade, Starmie, and Mence, and then one guy that I haven't seen, and then Swampert. His team can really just be devoured by Weavile, especially when I've got those rocks out to break Roserade's sash. So I was really hoping he'd leave it in, and he switches Salamence in, and he was really sacking that Salamence from what I can tell, because I could have surfed or ice beamed. I almost did both, or I almost picked one of the two, but I ended up grass hunting really because I couldn't afford to not kill Swampert if he stayed in. So I went for it, and I'm scarfed, so I've got to get out of there. I know at this point Magnezone is pretty much useless, which is unfortunate, because again, it goes with my Stealth Rock strategy. He's got Metal Sound to like force you out and stuff, and also just deal damage. Now, I don't want to lose Magnezone, because even though I know he's going to be useless, I know Starmie can take an Earthquake, because this is a mixed Mence from what I can tell, and I know that I'm probably going to need Magnezone, because I'm going to want fodder later. I haven't seen his last guy. I was thinking, maybe I'll just sack Magnezone at some point. And I know now that in this battle, my only chances now are going to be to really make good moves with Starmie and Weavile to win. And I Grass Knot right there because I did not want to let Swampert or Starmie switch in. I was trying to force Roserade in because I knew it had a 4x resistance to that move, and I'd be able to kill Salamence even at that low. Unfortunately, his last guy is 4x resistant to grass, and I was like, crud, that really screwed me over. So now I've got to do a similar thing again. Send back in Starmie and try to force in the Pokemon that I want to instead of something else. So I didn't want to Surf because that would let Starmie or Roserade come in. I had to Ice Beam because I was confident I could survive an Overheat. That turns out to be a little risky because I think he was spexed, so whatever. But I wanted to do Ice Beam because I really didn't want to. Sorry, this is kind of weird to explain. I did not want to let Swampert come right in because so I didn't just Thunderbolt. Sorry, that was a bad narration. I did not want to let Swampert come in for free. I knew Starmie was going to stay in regardless. Thankfully, I get that free shot because he tried to Focus Punch. I was just trying to deal as much damage as possible right now with his last three guys and just get Weavile in there. And he brings Starmie in now, and that's kind of good for me. I've still got a chance right here. I know I'm not going to try and send in Weavile right now in case he attacks and predicts that, which he does. So he takes me down now. All I've got left is Weavile. I just have to hope that a Pursuit, because I don't have Night Slash, that a Pursuit without him switching out is going to be able to take down his Starmie. Because if I don't, he's going to Rapid Spin, and then he's going to bring Roserade in, which can survive any hit because of its Focus Sash, and then take me down with Leaf Storm. And I ran a calculation, and its max damage I could have done 62%. It looks like he's got about that much left, but unfortunately I don't get as lucky as I need to be. He pulls off that Rapid Spin, which is incidentally where he made his game, if you ask me. And so now he's got that Starmie, Roserade, and Swampert. Swampert is no longer strong enough to take an Ice Punch because he's offensive. And Roserade, despite its frail defenses and Weavile's awesome attack power, I can't stop it if it's got Focus Sash unless I freeze him or unless his Leaf Storm misses, which, to be honest, I really didn't want either of those to happen because we both played really well in this match, him especially, and that would really just ruin a game like this. So regardless, he finishes me off. That's the end of the battle. And so thanks very much, Aero. This is a really fun match. This is one of the hardest I've ever played. And we both played pretty well. So it was, I don't know, I was just glad to upload it. I don't really have much else to say. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm done.